Hello everyone, it's Sam here. Today with a very controversial title, and I'm excited to talk about this. So first of all, spoiler alert, I will not give you a solution of necessarily what healthy is. I will just talk about why I think this is a problem and why I think it's very important to educate yourself at least a little bit on it and also why there's no definitive answer, at least from my current knowledge and point of view. I'll start with a little story. I remember, I think the past 5 years, protein is something that is more popular in like a mainstream food. I remember, I think like 10 years ago, if I walked to the supermarket, there weren't really a lot of foods that had like a lot of protein or so many grams of protein because no one really cared that much. And I feel like nowadays, or at least in the past years, it's been very popular. And I remember coming home and my mom came to me and said or showed me this like yogurt drink, and it said like, I don't know, 25 grams of protein. And she showed it me to me like very proudly and said, look, I bought this for your dad, like he's something healthy that he likes. And I was like looking at the ingredients, and I was like kind of shocked because the thought of what she was doing was like so innocent and nice, and it was actually very touching. But at the same time, it was very sad because whatever that thing is was, well, to me, obviously not healthy at all. Because it was a little milk drink. It had a billion amounts of just straight up sugar. Obviously industrialized sugar, not like natural sugar. It had like like an endless list of chemicals and like some milk. I don't even know if the source was milk protein, soy protein, whatever. And so like, yeah, this is not like, I guess horrible, but to be honest, just straight milk would have been probably half the price and probably better. Um, So the thing is, if I talked about anyone about healthy food, I think the most important thing, and people always forget this, is what even is healthy. Like defining a healthy for me is not obvious because it depends a lot on what your lifestyle looks like and what your goals look like. I personally am not an expert by any means. I haven't studied or anything, but I've read a few books and I've tried to like care about nutrition for probably a century by now, so at least I feel like I have some more knowledge than a lot of people. And it always surprises me because we eat food every single day, and I feel like you need to have or you should have some knowledge, right? And I feel like it should be part of like basic education, honestly, as well. Just very basic things. But I think it's important to define healthy. Like, what is the goal for you? Because if the goal is to lose weight, it looks different than when the goal is to gain weight. It looks different when you're a professional athlete, and it looks very different when you sit in the office for 12 hours a day, right? But it's very common, at least apart from, I think, like athletes, that everyone is like, oh, this has no fat, means it's healthy, or vegetables and fruit, healthy. Oh, this has fat, unhealthy. Oh, this has sugar, unhealthy. And I feel like it's very important that we kind of get away from these big words and just, I think that's why I think it's so important to me that I feel like it would be so efficient if you just teach about macros. I know like there's like endless knowledge, and also the problem of food kind of is that you can't really prove how bad or good something is unless you do like a long-term experiment, right? I think there has been a guy who's only eaten McDonald's for like every single day for a while, and then you can see how his body turns to shit. But apart from that, it's really difficult to kind of narrow down the keystones. So just like to end this video, because I don't want to make it too long, but I can talk about my experience and knowledge a little bit longer. I think my definition of health kind of is to live as long as possible and to have as much energy as possible. And that's something that I tried as well, as in like I eat and I look how do I feel. I think that's one very good factor to go by. And not short term, long term. For example, in terms of sugar and carbs, And also to some extent, maybe meat and whatever. It's like, look what your body deals with and how he deals with. But at the same time, you need to enjoy your life and be happy to some extent as well, right? If people talk about diets, everyone says the best diet is no diet, as in like it's not something that you have to force yourself to do every single day. Something that you kind of stick with, but it's also okay to enjoy. So it should be long term possible. Otherwise, I don't think it's worth it. And the second thing I forgot, which is really sad. uh, Long term definition depending on goals. Oh yeah, and the second thing, I think I just combined the two things. That's why I forgot. Anyways, I hope this makes you think a little bit. I'm open for discussions, and we can talk about more nutrition in another video if that's something you would like. Have a good one and enjoy your next meal. Bye bye.